President Donald Trump now on his way to Milwaukee for the start of the Republican National Convention. That's tomorrow and tonight. Local delegates from our area being told security remains top priority throughout the week. Our chief political reporter, Jason Zimmerman, is covering that convention as we speak. He's live in Milwaukee with the very latest. Jason.
Gammy, Aisha, this convention is expected to draw 50,000 delegates, including ones from all across the country and a lot of news media as well. Activities officially kick off tomorrow morning, but 30 minutes from now, the Secret Service will conduct a massive sweep all around the perimeter of the Pfizer Forum, which is already blocked off by numerous barricades and special fencing. That security sweep will last until around 2 in the morning, and after that, only people wearing credentials will be allowed within blocks of the convention area. We've been seeing a heavy police presence so far all afternoon, with agencies on patrol from a number of different states, including Maryland, North Carolina, and Minnesota. We also even saw Oshkosh police walk past us. Organizers of a large protest taking place tomorrow morning say their plans are still a go. They also addressed the media this afternoon, telling us more than 5,000 people are expected, but they are promising no violence. Meanwhile, Wisconsin delegates, all arriving a short time ago, had plenty to say about the attempted assassination of Trump and their own safety here over the next week to come.
I did mention to another friend who's a delegate that I said, look, security has been planned out for months on this, and think about all the people that are coming here, that the security is going to be top notch. And so I said, I'm not overly concerned. It is a little unsettling just because that's human nature to feel that way.
Honestly, Biden not looking so hot right now in terms of polling and how he's been doing as a whole. It makes the threat of a Trump presidency a lot more imminent, which has actually been really good for the turnout of our march, because people are starting to see Trump as a more imminent threat.
Again, that was the organizer of tomorrow's protest, who also refused to condemn the shooting at Trump while making those remarks. State Democrats not holding any events today, even canceling an opportunity for off-the-record remarks of media covering the convention that was supposed to take place later on tonight. As for Trump, we're told him posting on social media that he is en route to the area. Reporting live in Milwaukee, Jason Zimmerman, Action 2 News.
All right, Jason, thank you. We know you'll be following that closely. Now,